Welcome to NLT with the Panasonic Lumix FZ1000 camera here in a really short hands-on. This is the second camera by Panasonic which supports 4K video recording, but of course also it's a great photo camera, probably because it has a large sensor and it has also a nice zoom inside, 25 to 400 millimeters, and you cannot change the lens up on front, so this is the size of the camera that you will get. It's not a small camera. We will compare it with the GH4 maybe in the future, but right now you can see this is really not that small camera, but it's similar to the GH4. So you can see here we have here zoom and focus on the side, and also an on and off switch for the optical image stabilization. We have a microphone input here on the side, which is quite important for video recording. Also you can set up here a few settings, easily open up manually the flash here up on front, and there's also two microphones built in already inside the device. Also on the back you still have the flippable display, which is quite nice. Not as good as it is in the GH4 of course, but it's also here 270 degrees rotatable, which is of course great for shooting selfie videos, for example, like we do a lot. Then we have a lot of buttons that are exactly the same actually as we know from the GH3 and the GH4. So for example we have here the manual focus, autofocus, here some extra buttons, then of course also the live view sensor here, and here on the sides FN, F2, and also some settings here up on top, video record and HDMI, and also in the bottom you can change the battery as you will see in a second. Then we have the zoom feature right up here on front. You don't have to use it on the other side that I showed you before, but you can use also this one for zooming and of course for taking the shot or the video. So taking off here the front lens is not that great because it really easily falls off once you just really hit it a little bit. It's really not that stuck on there, which is a little bit sad, so you will lose this 62mm lens protector quite easily, probably here of the FZ1000, which is a little bit sad, but maybe you can just buy something to stick that to your camera. Then on the front you can see here also the little sensor, which is quite important, but let's turn it on and see how it records. Now if you want to record 4K videos you should look out for getting an SD card that's fast enough, like for example here this Panasonic Class 10 UHS1 and 3 class SD card, which is fast enough. So you can see here that the camera is on. It turns on quite quickly, but then of course it will put out the lens a little bit, and if we zoom in, for example, it's really quite fast with zooming in 50 times, for example here to that KFC box, and the focus is really also quite fast because there's a lot of autofocus sensors, and zooming out is also quite quickly and quite nice. There's also a touchscreen built in, so you can set up some settings also on here quite easily, of course if it doesn't turn off because I'm here close to the sensor. But yeah, this was a really short hands-on with the FZ1000 camera by Panasonic. Really a great device. And before we finish up, let me show you again here on the bottom that we have a 8.7 watt-hour battery with 1200 milliamps and 7.2 volts, which is actually exactly the same as in the GH2, I would say. So you can upgrade your GH2 to this one. You can also use external power here, and the battery and memory card slots are right next to each other, so you need to put in your full-size SD card right there. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Balazs. This was the FZ1000 in a short hands-on. Not the lightest camera because we have quite a few lenses inside, but a really quite great device for recording probably 4K videos. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And my name is Balazs.